Hello everybody, I'm back. I could have told you where I've been, but did not have to kill you. Anyway, that's enough serious stuff. In this video, I want to talk about three different subjects. Subject number one, global warming and climate change. I may have mentioned that before, but I want to talk about it again. Subject number two, the world is now run by communists. I'm pretty sure you know this. If you think you still have democracy in your country, you're a child who don't know what's happening. Subject number three, how to deal with telephone scammers. It doesn't matter where you are, I will tell you how to deal with them. Okay, let's get started. Should we talk climate change? Please, can we talk climate change? Please, mommy, can we talk climate change?
Yes, son, we can talk climate change.
Okay, we talk climate change. I don't know if you noticed, but nothing's in the news anymore about lockdowns and what it's doing to the environment. Remember the first lockdown? Remember how in Venice all the water cleared up? Remember lockdown in China? When all the dangerous gases suddenly depleted and everything was clearing up in a matter of weeks? 2, 3 weeks and everything was clear? Remember that? You notice that nobody's mentioning that anymore, and we've gone right back into, oh, we're all going to die in 10 years' time. Oh no. Everybody believes. Everybody believes. So, all governments are now saying, we have to be more green. Even New Zealand, that socialist prime minister here in New Zealand. I was almost going to say bad word, but apparently you're not allowed to say bitch on YouTube. So I won't say bitch, because bitch is a very bad word. So I call her prime minister, not bitch. Okay, now that I've got that off my chest, she went to United Nations and did a really nice speech about coming together and being united and being super green on planet. All bullshit like all leaders do. But what they don't notice is that the entire Western world, right, is all going green and shutting down industry. But industry is still running, just not in that country. I already told you in video before, it's all going to China. Now they're making China as out to be bad guy. China is not the bad guy. It's the Western world that are being the bad guys. They are pretending that they're being green. But this is all capitalism, you see. Because under capitalism, you want to make the maximum amount of profit for the minimum amount of input, yes? So that means you have to make shit as cheap as possible. So where do you go to make shit as cheap as possible? You go to China. Okay? So entire world went to China. All the manufacturing is in China. Now we can shut down all manufacturing in Europe and in America and in New Zealand and in Australia. You get picture. So now China do it all. And China produce all bad fumes that we as the rest of the planet used to do. So now China is bad guy and they're saying, oh, China naughty naughty. But these are the very people who gave it to China in the first place. Now they're very, very afraid that China is going to take over the rest of the world. But the rest of the world gave the world to China. I don't understand this. Here is chart. Look at this chart. Okay, this explains this. This is chart on global warming. Was supposed to be chart on global warming. It's the CO2 levels. This is a lot of bullshit, of course. Because there's not some little guy with a little CO2 meter doing measurements with every single country and saying, oh, look, it's going 350 parts per million. Oh, it's going up to 351 parts per million. No, that's bullshit. There'll be some accountant in an office somewhere, one of these mathematicians who likes to crunch numbers. He'll be sitting in the office and he'll be crunching the numbers and say, okay, this factory would probably produce so much carbon dioxide. How much of these factories do we have in the country? 27. Okay, so I take this figure, times it by 27. Now we're always ramping up production, so we'll have to add the two. 27 plus so many percent for every year. See, that's all they do. Very simple. And they do that on a global scale. Now, if you look at this chart and you see all these bad, bad countries, America. Hey, Russia, look, hello, how you do? In the beginning, it's the Russia and America, right? They're neck and neck. It's like big race. Woohoo! But have a look. From about the year 2000 onwards, what happens? Oh, look very carefully. Now, this is not chart about climate change. This is a chart about the truth. This is a chart that shows that the Western world gave all manufacturing to China. Look, look at China doing all the manufacturing now. All the other countries going down, China is going up. So even in a lie, you can find the truth. See? Simple. Even child of 5 can see this, but nobody in the world want to see this. They all want to buy battery operated cars. They all want to buy those stupid little turbines that go on the wind and never work when you need them. You know those. Anyway, that was my other opinion. Okay, if you're still listening, you're doing well. And as to the Chinese, keep up good work. Oh, it is just one thing I have to say, China. Just one thing. It is not a bad thing, it's a good thing. Could you please work on your quality? I know you're doing all manufacturing now, and you're a very busy country. Just work on your quality. Everything will be good. I think you're doing good to keep up with the entire planet's demands. Keep up good work. I'll probably get in shit for saying that. But what the hell? You have to give credit where credit is due. Everybody says China is bad guy. They're not bad guy. They're producing for all planet. Give them a break, okay? Now I do have little bit of problem. I do. I do have a little bit of problem because I can't decide whether we're in a socialist fascist regime or in a communist socialist regime. There's a little bit of a difference. Let me explain. You see, worldwide now, even here in New Zealand, especially here in New Zealand, because here in New Zealand we're definitely socialist. There is no democracy anymore. Down here it's worse than Russia now, when during Cold War. At least in Russia during Cold War, we didn't even know there was a Cold War. We just went about our business. Here in New Zealand, you can hear nothing on news. You don't know what's going on the planet. You have to find that on internet, and even there you have to be careful. Anyway, worldwide and here in New Zealand to start to implement some, I don't know, fascist socialist systems. Now let me explain again. Okay, from now on, every time you go into shop, supermarket, hardware store, you have to scan app with your phone, right? Everywhere. That's mandatory. Government says you have to do this. So, if you break that down, that means that you have to tell government everywhere you're going every day. Every time you leave house and go somewhere, you have to tell government. That don't sound like democracy to me. But it's about to get worse. You see, you're going to get passport. You're going to get passport that states that you've had your vaccinations. And only while you have this passport can you go to different places. If you don't have passport, you can't go. That's communist. That's like having your ticket, your party membership. The same thing. Unless you show that you're a member of party, you go away. This is very dangerous stuff. But I thought I'll put that out there. So, what do you think? Fascist communist? Because that's what it feels like to me. I want to talk about coronavirus. There is something very strange going on about this pandemic at the moment. I don't know how many of you can remember when it began because we've had so much news and only about pandemic, not about anything else. I remember that when it first broke out, remember in Italy they were getting all these death tolls, but people were saying, hey, wait a minute. My uncle and my grandfather, they wrote on death certificate that he died because of COVID-19, but it's not true. That's not why he died. And I think that is conspiracy happening around the world. Only in small countries with population 5 million or less can you see that this lie persists. In bigger country, you don't know where the lie is, right? Like in New Zealand, where I am at the moment, the outbreak is mainly in Auckland. That's our biggest population center. It's not the capital city, but it should be. At least then we'll keep all the stuff away. Anyway, all the COVID breakouts, lots of people are getting this COVID-19, but we're not seeing big death toll. Now the funny thing about Auckland, that's where all the fat people are. That's where all lazy people are. That's where all the sick people are. And we're not seeing big death toll. So if that's what it's like here, what's it like in the rest of the world? I think we're being lied to. I think what they're doing, they're just writing COVID-19 as cause of death on every single certificate. Oh, look, gunshot wound. Ah, COVID-19. Oh, look, he died in a car crash. No, no, COVID-19. Look, he fell off cliff. No, it's COVID-19. Oh, look, he's got no head. No, it's because of COVID-19. See what I mean? I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. Look, Anakin slaughtered all these younglings. No, it's COVID-19. I'm sure that's what's going on. Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. Whether you believe it or not, I don't care. I had some fun yesterday, and you can have fun too. I'm going to teach you how to have fun. And this is what you do. You learn to speak like fake Russian. You watch a movie where they speak in the Russian accent and you practice. Alright? This will come in handy. And I'll say why. My wife has been getting phone calls from all these Indian dudes. You know, they ring you up and tell you there's something wrong with your computer or something wrong with your Wi-Fi system or something like that. With her it was Bitcoin. They're trying to say that, oh look, you've got so many Bitcoin, you want to get paid out or blah. It's scam. Right? We all know it's scam. You know it's scam. I know it's scam. Now what my wife has been doing is she recognize number and she don't pick up phone. So you just put phone down and ignore, which is good system. But my wife has been getting 4 to 5 phone calls every night from this scammer, and every time different phone number. And we checked phone numbers, and it's like they get a hold of a whole batch of phone numbers, but they're all sequential. They're all, one number difference between them. So we knew this was scammer. Anyway, a couple of nights ago, the phone goes. They had the new number, and it looked like there was a phone call that was within New Zealand. So my wife thought, oh, might be a family member. I don't know. So she picks up phone. She answers, and straight away this Indian voice comes on and calls her by name. Now she was about to hang up when I snatched phone out of hand. So I take phone, I wink to wife, so she knew I'll take care of this. And I walk with phone to my computer room. I was going to record, but what happened next was so funny and happened so quick that I did not have time. I took phone, and in this accent, I told the person on the other line this. Hello, this is Yuri from the Russian consortium. From this point on, we will be monitoring all calls to this telephone system. We have noted that you are a scammer. We know what country you come from. So from this point on, any phone calls from this country will be monitored very closely, and if they do not stop immediately, we will be forced to take immediate action. Before I finished sentence, he hung up. That was so hilarious. I've never had one hang up before. So I told everybody what I did. There was a big laugh. It was good. About an hour and a half later, idiot rings again, but on one of the other numbers. So the wife looks at me and I go, okay, no problem. I pick up the phone. Hello, this is Yuri from Russian Consortium. He hung up. And that was last time we ever had phone call. Ever since then, no more phone calls. So, learn the Russian accent, threaten these people, all over a sudden you don't get phone calls. That's how you deal with scammers. Have a nice day. I hope you look after yourselves and stay safe. Because there are idiots out there. Goodbye.